disclosure, I am not the best at telling stories. So if you have any questions or comments, let me know. Let's get into it. So about my mom, she gave us away when I was about 4. She was neglectful, abusive, and mentally ill. With my father, growing up, I did not know what a father was. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know what he looked like. Because again, I didn't know what a father was. So my life changed when that white lady and them 3 big men came and took all 4 of us away. And that was one of the first fights I had. Because when I say, baby, we fought, okay? It's one thing, no matter how effed up my mother was, she always told us, you have your siblings. And if you have nobody else, you have your siblings. And that's what that was. We fought for each other until we couldn't fight no more. You hear me? So fast forwarding, we all was in one home together. And something occurred. And they split us up. And it was the 2 boys and the 2 girls. The home I was in with my older sister started off okay, then it got bad. And went from bad to worse. And in that home at 4, that's when I got arrested.
No. Damn.
And when you first go into ACS, BCW, CPS, they tell you that they're there to protect you and to make sure that you're okay. And going from abuse and neglect at home with your biological parent, you know, when you have these people that are seeming to be caring and empathetic, you like, okay, I'm making work with this.
Okay, so okay. So her mom gave her to like CPS. I'm guessing not. I'm thinking she meant like she gave her away to like some random family. Okay, at least I think. Let me listen.
And the first time that I said anything about being molested, me and my sister were separated. Now, okay, the second home I went to, my guard started to feel a little up. I was a bit different. I was more quiet because I started to get the same treatment that I was getting. You understand? And that was the first time that I was raped, and I was 5. Not gonna go into full detail about that, but I thought my life changed when I was given away. My life changed when I got raped. All right, so now when this situation happens to me, of course, I definitely said something. I definitely said something. And I wasn't believed, of course. So that's when I just became like, F it. I just didn't care. And I got moved from that home to another home. And that home was okay. Like, it wasn't the greatest, but that was okay. So I can say it about a total of, I can say I was in about 5 homes. 5 to 6 homes, I would say, give or take. And the last home that I was in, I would just say she was mean. She was really mean, like really fucking mean, right? Now this one particular day, I'm in the front of the house, and she comes to me and tell me that somebody wants to talk to me. So I'm like, okay. So I get on the phone, and they're like, "What's up, baby?" I'm like, "Hey." They're like, "It's your dad." Bitch, what? Right? So I'm like, hello. And he's like, "Oh, baby, don't you want to move with me? You going to come and move with me?" And I'm like, "I don't know you, man. Like, go that way. I don't know you. Like, I'm not going to lie. All the things that happened to me within that time frame of me being born, like, y'all don't even know the backstory on me being born. I forgot all about that part. Like, y'all would be like, ain't no way, ain't no how, girl, you lying. Anyway, so I'm like, just attitude, like, no. So he like, well, what you like? So I'm like, I like Barbie, because the girls like Barbie. I was a tomboy, but girl, I like me some Barbie sheets, okay? So I was like, I want some Barbie sheets. And he's like, all right, I can get you some Barbie sheets. And I was like, the black Barbie. He said, all right, no problem. And then he's like, and I said, I want my own room. That's exactly what I said. I said I wanted black Barbie sheets and I wanted my own room, okay? Remember that for the rest of the story, right? So now I'm like, all right, so I'll come. I'll move with you. I'll come. So now visits start happening where I gotta meet him. So I started meeting him a couple hours at a time in the ACS building, the CPS building or whatever. And then he had his wife, which is my stepmother, and she was pregnant. And me and all my siblings would go and visit each other. That's how we would see each other at the facility place or whatever. And then eventually, I moved with him. I moved with him and my stepmother. Now, my foster mother, when I say that girl was happy to let me go, when I say that's the first time I ever saw her took me shopping, when I say I had like 10 toothbrushes, 5 toothpaste, when I say the bag, I mean, if you know the old school laundry bag that was plastic that could zip, bruh, when I say she filled that ish to the top, she filled it to the top. Like, she made sure there was nothing I had to come back for. All right? So now I go with my father and we go to Brooklyn and Red Hook. All right? And at this time, I am 8. All right? So now I meet my older brother from my father's side. And when I go in the house, it wasn't no black Barbie sheets, and I did not have my own room. And I thought my life changed from when I got given away, when I got arrested, and when I got raped. So now, I got to the house. Well, when I got to the crib, I would say the crib. For those who don't know what the crib is, that ain't a house. Okay? I went to the crib. It was in the projects in Red Hook. It was a 2-bedroom, which is where my father and my stepmother slept. And then the room where my older brother slept. Okay. When I went in there and I ain't see no Barbie sheets, immediately, my whole attitude changed. First of all, growing up, I didn't have anything. Never had anything. Like, I was a bum. Like, mice in the bed, rats in the house, no food, like, nothing. So when I saw that, I was just like, yo, okay, here the fuck we go. Like, here the fuck we go. Like, here the fuck we go. It was just like, my mind was just like, okay. Okay. So, fast forwarding, I'm trying to give y'all, like, the important parts so I'm not dragging it all the way out. So, I'm like, oh, hell no. So, my stepmother comes in the room. She's like, you like the room? And I'm like, I have to share this. She's like, yeah. So, I'm like, what happened to my Barbie sheet? She's like, oh, we didn't get it. We didn't have time. So, I didn't argue back. Growing up, I didn't argue back with adults. That's not what we did back in the days. So, I go out to the living room. My father is not there. This is the first day. So, he's there to drop me off, to meet me, to take me there. But he leaves to go, I don't know where. So, now we go across the court to her mother's house. I meet her family or whatever the case is. And that's that. All right. Now, let's fast forward, because from me being 8 turning 9 and then 9 to 11, really being in Red Hook, it was really, I can say I did start off very childlike. I was reading books. I was going to school every day. They had a washing machine, so I did have clean clothes. She had food stamps, so I did have some food. And for the first time so far, nothing is happening to me. Okay. Now, fast forward. when I am 10, so from 8 to 9ish, 8 to 10, I was in Red Hook, and then we like moved to Brownsville. That's in Brooklyn still, but that is just the other side of Brooklyn. So now we get to Brownsville. Everything started off cool, and then eventually, here comes the BS. So my stepmother, my father was never in the house. Like, he was never in the house. He was always outside. And my stepmother now, at this point, we had chores. And when I mean we, I mean me. Okay? I would have to clean the bathroom, clean the kitchen, clean the living room. Mind you, I'm 10ish, 11. So I have to clean the bathroom, clean the living room, clean the kitchen, clean my room. I was cooking and ironing clothes since I was like 5 in foster care, okay? So I picked that back up when I was living with them. All right, now I start doing all this. I have to take my little brother and my little sister outside every day with me. I would leave at 6 o'clock in the morning to walk from my house to the train, which is like 4 long blocks, and at 6 in the morning, okay? And it was winter, so it was dark. So I would be on the train at 11 o'clock, at 6 o'clock in the morning at 11 years old, 10, 11 years old, okay? I had to bring my little brother and sister to school every day with me. All right, I had to pick them up, so I never got to hang out with friends after school. When I got home from school, I had to do my homework, do my chores, take my siblings outside, and that was that. Like, that was that, okay? I never had a birthday party. Never. When I say I never had a birthday party, I never. So, but the time that I finally do get a birthday party, I'm turning 11, and guess what the birthday party is? It's a bowling party. It's a Bratz bowling party. Whoop-de-doo. I'm excited. What does my stepmother do? She dresses my little sister and me the same, and then my father invited all of his friends, so it was the adults party, and my little sister got gifts on my birthday, and I didn't, and they forgot to sing happy birthday to me. Thanks.
Damn, I was hoping her life would get better after she moved in with her father, but we can see that that is not the case, unfortunately.
Ish is getting real, y'all. It's about to really start getting. All right, so now they forget to sing happy birthday to me. All right, cool. That was the first. I had 2 birthdays with them. I'm not gonna lie, I had 2 birthdays, okay? And that was the first and last birthday that I had. All right, now let's really get into it, right? So now, I go to New Horizons, and I end up going to that school, and I was getting bullied, okay? Because I wasn't fly. I didn't have this. I didn't have that. And people were just cruel. Like, and that's how I ended up having my first fight for a bully, and I whooped that ass, okay? Girl, I got enough anger in me right now. I've been waiting for this day. Give me that. So now,
Yeah, that usually be how it be too. Like, when kids are having issues at home and shit, either they become the bully and like start messing with other kids, or shit, you fuck with them and you get your goddamn ass beat like she beat goddamn whoever ass. I don't know if she beat a boy up or a girl, but I'm pretty sure they got their ass beat.
I was dared to go out with this boy, and I went out with him, and that was my first love. I fell in love with him, and he broke my little motherfucking heart. Okay, now every day after school, I was skipping after school, and I was going with him to have X. Now, my father and my stepmother found out because we was writing about it in the book in class and passing it back and forth to one another, and that's when I found out what punishment was. Okay, I got my ass on punishment for real. And they changed my school, and they changed my school to my stepmother's school. She was a school aide, so I started going there, and I was taking my brother and sister to school every day and picking them up, getting on the train, and that's what that was. My life was reverted right back to the same old thing that I knew, right? So now, at this point, I have a new boyfriend. And now I'm turning 12. Okay? Now, remember I told y'all that we were living in Brownsville. Right now, we was only in Brownsville for like a year, I would say, because I remember being in Bed-Stuy at 12, because that's when I started 304. All right, so now I'm in school and I get my second boyfriend. Now,
And for those of you who do not know what a 304 is, a 304 is a hoe. HOE. That's what it stands for.
in the new school, I'm 12. How old is he? 18. My new boyfriend is 18 and I am 12. So now I was always fighting. I started getting into gang banging and all types of craziness. It was just like I was just all over the place. And one thing about me, I loved to dance. So I decided I want to start dancing. So I got into a group and I started dancing. And my father and my stepmother would always show up for my shows late, or they wouldn't show up at all. They'll miss me performing, or it was just, I couldn't get no way to show me that I was loved. So I started deterring from dancing to skipping practice to hang out with my 18-year-old boyfriend, right? And my stepmother knew he was my boyfriend. And my father knew he was my boyfriend. My father had an attitude about it, but he didn't do nothing about it for real. And after I look at it, it's like, what? And now, me and my 18-year-old boyfriend start having X. Now, I'm 12, okay? Now, being at 11 in New Horizons, I started having X after school every day. Like, when I say I was having X every day, I was like hypersexual. Like, it was bad. Like, when that happens to you, when you get SA'd, you either are really turned off from it or you're completely turned on. And when you're turned on to it, that's a pro and a con for me. But so now I started having X with my 18-year-old boyfriend in the stairs, all right, at his house, when nobody was home at my house. Like, I was just doing shit, okay? And it was just going down. Now, at 12, I had my first drink. I started drinking. I was drinking Devil Springs, okay? And my 18-year-old boyfriend took me to a party of his. He took me to a party. So now, like I told y'all, I was in middle school and he was in high school. So high schoolers in 11th and 12th grade was throwing a party. And, of course, he wanted his girl to go. His 12-year-old girl to go. Right? And so I went to the party. Now, when I say I was drinking, I was drinking. And I remember I was just like, nothing spectacular that you would have fun with me, because I was drunk and I was just laying there. But then I rolled my head. I just remember rolling my head. And when I rolled my head...
Don't tell me, bro.
Everybody was looking in the room. Everybody. And I just laid there. And when he was done, he got up, walked out of the room, and went to finish his party. Okay? Now, by the time I realized what is going on and what time it is, because look how old I am, I'm like, I gotta go. So now, I'm here with a messenger book bag, a green school Metro card, heels on, and it's like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. Did he walk me to the train? No. Did he make sure I was okay? No. By the time I get in the house, my father and my stepmother are sitting on the couch, and my father looks at me and goes, "Good. Since you fucking drunk, go wash some fucking dishes." I went and I washed some damn dishes. Because the shit that I've been through, if that's all he got for me right now, F it. I'll take it. I'll take it. Okay? And of course, I go back to dealing with the same person, being treated like trash. And that was that. Now it's getting real. And I remember I had this nurse in my school named Abby. I loved Abby. Until this day, I still love Abby because she was my voice. Like, she was my voice. Abby would try to give me birth control pills and condoms. And my father found out that, well, he saw it in my bag. And when I say my father cursed Abby the fuck out, he cursed her out. He was like, "From daughter, no mother effing mother birth control pills. Itch, are you dumb? Don't get it in my motherfucking order." And I was like, all of this? And Abby started crying. And I started crying because I was scared. And then I'm like, why are you talking to Abby like this? Right? So Abby, they ain't stop Abby. She said, "I'm not going to stop being there for your daughter because she need me and I know that she need me. Y'all not there for her." And Abby was like, "Listen, it might have been against the rules, but Abby was like, listen, I'm going to give you these motherfucking birth control pills. Just come down here every day on lunch break and take one." Okay? And that's what I did. Until I'm like, F it. I don't need the birth control because it's just going to keep being a problem. It is what it is, right? So now,
This is horrible, man. I really don't. I don't like listening to this type of stuff, because this girl was 12 years old at the time, bro, and this shit is just, well, it happened younger than that. This shit started at 4 years old. So, and it's a shame that her dad and stepmom, didn't have enough sense at the time to, that was wrong. Like, she shouldn't be having a fucking 18-year-old boyfriend. And if you 18 years old, like, how fucking grown do you look at 12? Like, come on, bro.
end up pregnant. Now I'm effing pregnant. What do? I run to Abby. I'm not telling them, Abby, you're telling them. Abby calls my stepmother downstairs. And she tells her, I'm pregnant. So now Abby calls down my stepmother. She lets her know that I'm pregnant, okay? And my stepmother's face, it wasn't a face of, like, disappointment. It wasn't a face of, like, anger. It was a face of, like, I got tea. I have tea for sale, right? So she's like, we're out of here. We're leaving. So we leave the school. We go to her mother's house. And her nieces and nephews are there. Everybody is there. And she decides, like, it's the best time to let everybody know that I'm pregnant. But she's not making it a big announcement, like a PSA. She's, like, having a conversation and just slipping it out like it's just coming out. Mind you, my father doesn't even know yet. And he's the actual parent, okay? So, of course, everybody was calling me fast. Started looking at me crazy. It was weird that day, okay? So now we're leaving. We're walking to the train. And she decides, like, she can't wait home. She can't wait till we get home. She just can't hold that water. She cannot hold that water. It has to happen now. So as we get to the corner, before we get to the train station, she decides she wants to get on the payphone and call my father and let him know. But the way she's giving him the tea, she's giving him the tea like she got tea. Like, she's like, oh, let me tell you what happened with your daughter today. So she's like, oh, yeah, she's pregnant. Immediately, I can hear him I don't hear what he's saying, but he's yelling. So, excuse me, she's like, he want to talk to you. So I'm like, hey, Dad. He's, of course, yelling. Ain't no effing, hey, Dad, F this and all that, whatever the case is. And he's like, you're getting a AB, you're getting it, and that's it. That's what I said, and I said. So I'm crying because I don't want to do it, but he's like, you're doing it because I said so. When you are the age you are, you're gonna do what the F I say. So I don't have a choice. And at that time, I was scared of all adults. I was literally scared of all adults. So really, for me, it wasn't an arguing when it came to certain things. Like, so my stepmother took me to the city, Planned Parenthood in the city, when they really first started coming around, and she took me there to get the AB done. That was one of the worst things I ever had to do in my life as well. And it wasn't no support behind that because I was back in school the next couple of days. It didn't even matter. So right now school is over. Let's really get into it. Now school is over, and I'm on punishment for decades at this point. And my neighbor lived on the third floor. We lived in like a duplex, right? Just one apartment on each floor, and we was on the fourth floor. She was on the third. And she worked a lot. She did work very hard. She had a daughter, a young son, and then an older son, and then her nephew was staying with her from another country, from Guyana. And she needed a babysitter because her nephew and her son wasn't always home. So, of course, I volunteered to babysit. That's what I do. So, as I'm babysitting one day, her nephew, which is 24, is there with her son. And he was like a couple years older than him. So, they're like 20-something. They both in their 20s, right? And we all having a good time. We're chilling. Everything is kid-friendly. It is what it is. Now, the son starts to like me, starts to crush on me. Yes, I'm still 12 at this time, y'all. The son starts to crush on me. Me at this point, I'm testing out waters on everybody. I don't even care. So I'm like, you're ugly to me, so no, don't even try me. But the cousin was looking good. And why was I thinking that way at 12? Because of everything I've been through. So it is what it is. So when the 24-year-old knew that I thought he looked good, he took that like, all right, we're going to go with this and we're going to run with this, right? Now, quick disclosure, there is a background story on me and this man. If y'all want to know that for real, I'm giving y'all the story on how I became a 304 and when I became a 304. But if y'all want the backstory on him, baby, that was tea, okay? So now, like I'm saying, so he let me know how he feeling about me, and he's like, but you can't tell nobody. I don't want to go to jail. I can go to jail for this. And I'm like, that's not me. Like, that's not my type. I'm here for what I'm here for. That's it. And we came to an agreement that as long as I had sex with him, I would get whatever I want from him. And the moment he bought me a pair of sneakers is when I started having X with him. Dang, I don't think I'm supposed to have.
Bro, you are a 24-year-old man. And this fucking girl is 12 years old. Oh my God. This is pathetic. This is fucking pathetic. That is just disgusting. What the fuck is wrong with these guys out here? Like, I just cannot imagine. You're 24 years old, my nigga. Do you know how... Man, that nigga need to go to jail.
Said the S word. So we start having X and everything is all good. And now, one night, he was like, I'm going to give you $300 if you... Right? So I was like, okay, because I've never willingly before. So I'm like, all right, F it. So this night, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. I kid y'all, no lie. I get out my bed and I open the window and I crawl out the window and I started going down that fire escape and I tapped on his window like, I'm here. So he woke up, opened the window like, oh, she really came. So I crawled through his window and I'm like, give me my money. So he like, shh, my aunt is next. She's in her room sleeping. So I'm like, all right, give me my money. So he gave me my $300 and of course I did what I did. And that was the first official, okay? So now I decided like, all right, I'm done what I'm doing. I'm going back up the fire escape. Why am I going up the fire escape, y'all? The window is closed. And when I look through the window, my father is standing
right there. Her father is on point a little bit, but he just needed to be a little bit more... He not really on point. I can't say that he on point.
There. I mean, standing right at the window. Like, to the point he had let me in. So now, he has to open the window. So, when I say my heart is pounding, I could have took that leap of faith. Fight or flight. And I was ready to take that flight. But, we're going to go in for this fight. So, he opens the window. When I say 5 fingers to the face, okay? 5 fingers to the face. I'm like 112 pounds, if that, okay? In this man's hands, when I say his whole hand covered, like you see how this is still uncovered? Like, it was like from here and like here, covered my whole face. Wow, 5 fingers to the face. Like, instant ringing, instant headache, instant tears, instant like, oh my effing gosh. But at this point, I'm used to it. So, F it. I'm on punishment. I'm already on punishment. We're going to add some more decades onto the decades that I already have. And I got $300 and I got sneakers and clothes. Okay? That's how much they didn't pay attention because they didn't even know when I had new stuff. Because they really wasn't buying me stuff. I was always outside with a scarf on my head or just looking crazy. All right? So now, wait, what happened? Right. It was the 5 fingers to the face, punishment, and nothing happened. He did not do nothing. He didn't say nothing. He didn't ask nothing. He didn't nothing. Like, when I say nothing, y'all, now that I'm really thinking back on it, he really said and did nothing. As a father with a 12-year-old girl is coming up a fire escape, like, where are you? Nothing. That's coming to me as a shocker.
That's crazy. Like I say, at 12 too. Like they she just didn't have no guidance at the time. You know what I'm saying? But
The way that's coming to y'all right now, that's crazy. So yes, y'all guessed it right. I was still babysitting and I was still getting them coins until tell Eon I want to get my stepmother a Mother's Day gift. He asked me, what do I want to get her? I want to get her a pair of sneakers. I asked my stepmother what size she wears. I let Eon know the size she wears. Eon goes and buy her these white, pink, and green babe sneakers. Okay? She didn't ask where or how I was going to get these sneakers until I gave her the sneakers. When I gave her the sneakers, that's when she asked me how. Okay? Now, I tell her, I say, I was saving my money from me babysitting. Okay? Now, she goes with that from me. But then she goes to my father and tells him, I don't think she bought me these sneakers because these sneakers cost a lot. So now, when she tells my father, he's like, no, something not right. So he asked me where you get them sneakers from. And me, like, I was a scaredy cat of adults. Like, when my father came, I was just like, I told the truth. I was like, Eon bought the sneakers for me to give to her because I wanted to give to her for a gift. Y'all guessed it. What my father said? Nothing. He took them motherfucking sneakers and told me to give them back. Bring them back. So, I gave them back to Eon. Eon, like, it make no never mind. Cool. Nothing still happens at this point. Nothing is still happening. I think I might end up giving y'all that own personal story because it might be confusing to y'all because when I tell y'all that portion of that story is crazy, it's crazy. But anyway, so y'all give me back the sneakers. All right. So now the time is still going on. It's still summertime. I'm still on fake punishment at this point. I can only go outside when I bring my little brother and little sister outside. Okay. Now, so one day I'm walking down the block with my little brother and my little sister. And when I say it was this man, right? I say it was this man was like this tall. Okay. He was like this tall. I mean, he was tall as hell. Okay. He's talking to me like, what's up, little mama, whatever the case is. So I start talking to him like, what's up? So we're talking and he gave me his number. Now, at this time, my godmother had bought me the pink razor. Now, that's another story with my godmother. But anyway, let's keep going. She buys me the razor, whatever, put me on her T-Mobile plan. I get his number. Yes, we got minutes free after 7, all that. Me being young, I'm doing what I'm doing. I ran them minutes up, okay? And he lived around the corner. He was in his 20s as well. Y'all already know what it started hitting for. I start going to the beauty supply store, buying me little thongs, or I would like cut my panties up into a thong. Like it was just crazy business. And I would go see him like every other week, and I would get like $100 to $200 with him, chilling with him. And, like I wasn't even smoking weed or nothing. I was just drinking. But at this point, I knew how to control my liquor. I knew how to make myself look whatever. And I would have my friends at the park like, yo, watch my brother and my sister because I gotta go make this money. Because when I tell y'all, me and my friends was outside. When I had that money, we was outside. Like we was doing what it do, baby. So now, as all this time is going on, there's a situation that is occurring with Eon that happened, and eventually we move from Bed-Stuy, okay? So now I am in East New York at 14, okay? Now we're in East New York. Now it's getting real. So now we're in East New York, right? And everything is really now changing. Everything is getting different for me. I'm 14. I'm growing. I'm getting a little doo-doo-doo. I'm getting a little doo-doo-doo. Like, I'm angry. I'm always fighting. I'm always angry. I'm always cleaning. I'm always cooking. I'm always going to the store. I'm always getting in trouble. I'm just like, it was so much for me that I was just like, I have to find a way for me to get up out of here. I can't take this anymore. Like, getting up, having to get my little sister to school. Like, yo, we would have to go. I have to wake up in the morning. Mind you, my stepmother will wake me up first. Mind you, I was always the one to always be ready first. My older brother, like, he wouldn't take long, but it was just like, for me, I was always the first one to have to get up. And I have like this thing of loud noises. Loud noises petrify me. Like my heart starts pounding, I start sweating. And I told my stepmother this. And her favorite thing to do, like, would be like to bust open the door, like, it's time to get up, like, or just die, like scream my name so fucking loud. It was just like, and I will always be like, why do I have to get up first? I'm always the first one ready. Like, let me get up last. And I would have to take the bus. I would have to walk to the bus with my little brother and my little sister. Because my older brother went to a different school. So we had to take the bus to the train, from the train, to a train, then walk 4 or 5 blocks to the school. And my little sister would drag her feet. So I was arguing with her every single day about getting to school. I would complain every day. And they would just tell me, you're the big sister, figure it out. And I figured it out. I had no choice. I figured it out. All right. So now, as I'm getting known in East New York, because, you know, when you move to different hood, you're a new face, so everybody's really watching you, okay? So I ran into this dude, and he was a grown man. He was in his 30s. I was 14, right? And we was talking or whatever the case is. And he started off friendly, and after that, it became to like, you want to make some money, and it became to, yeah, sure. First, how it started was where I would, and you could say he was my imp, my PIMP. That's where I started with that as well. And he would have me go to the back of White Castle. There was this hotel called Galaxy, and then across the street there was fast food restaurants, and behind there is where you would see Girls 304. And I was like, what do I do? Because now I'm about to get on a trip. I know nothing about this. So I'm like, what do I do? And he's just like, put this outfit on and stand outside, and whoever pull up to you, that's what it is. So my first day on the job, I went out there, I stood on the street, on the sidewalk behind White Castle, and men would pull up, and I started doing car dates at 14. Okay? And now that I look at it, that is just so crazy and so hurtful, because I cannot imagine a little girl doing that right now. Like, I would snatch that little girl off the street and just hug her and bathe her and feed her. Okay? Anyway, so I started back there, and it went from there to, let's start taking pictures. So I started taking pictures, and I'm like, so, but where are we putting these pictures? And he's like, oh, I know people that live overseas, I lived in different states, that would like pictures of girls. So I started taking pictures for money. Eventually, he did take me off the strip, because I was, what they would say, like, I was fresh, I was good, I was cute, I was clean. I was like, she don't belong over there, she belong over here. So at that point, I started taking pictures, I started dancing, and I just started really going down a rabbit hole with this. And eventually I had sex with him, and that was painful, because it was like this big, like, it was painful, but I just dealt with it, because I was making a couple dollars. I just dealt with it. It was what it was. And it's just like, it just hurts me to know that that's how adult men can be. I mean, for me, I would say I was fast. I don't know. I really still don't know how to put it. If I was fast or I was groomed, I don't know how to put it, but that's what I was doing. Then I remember he was just like, you so fly, you got talent, you got so much about you, we gonna name you Diva. So they started calling me Diva. And at this point, he had me rapping. He had me doing a lot of the things that I kind of wanted to do for myself. So I don't know what kind of category to even place him in. Because Remind you, keep him in your head. Keep him in your head, because he's going to come back up. So now I'm in the back of White Castle, and it's in the summertime, right? I'm in the back of White Castle, and I'm doing my thing. Now, this car pull up or whatever, and they driving slow. So I'm like, oh boy, this might be the police, right? So they pull up, and he just staring at me. So I'm staring at him. So he finally say something. He like, what's up, little mama? You looking good. So I was like, thank you. And he was like, you too pretty to be out here. What you doing out here? Hold on, y'all. And for anybody that's a visionary like me, that want like pictures and like just to put yourself like to where I was, put yourself in my mind frame, I still have all the pictures of when I was younger, of how I was dressing, how I was looking. I still have text messages from my mother that I can show y'all. Listen, it's gonna be so many parts of this story. It's just gonna be like y'all are my diary. That's it. Anyway, so he's like, you too pretty to be doing what you're doing, and I don't feel like you need to be out here or whatever. So I was just like, okay. And he's like, take my number. So I took his number, and then I called him. We start texting, we start talking, and eventually I stopped messing with the other, the one that I told y'all to keep in mind. I stopped dealing with him and started dealing with Rico. That's his name. Remember Rico's name, because y'all ain't gonna like him, baby. So one day, Rico like, hey babe, I'm outside, I'm about to go to my aunt's house, you want to come with me? So I'm like, all right, yeah. He had pulled up with his friend or whatever, and so I'm in the car, we listening to music, they doing what they doing, they smoking, they chilling. So he's like, we gonna go chill in my aunt room, my man's is gonna chill in the living room. So I'm like, all right, cool. So we at his aunt room, laying down, watching TV, everything was copacetic. For how long? I know y'all going to say that, because how long was it gonna be copacetic? Mind you, Rico, I was 14. Rico was 19, 20. So I gotta make sure that shit on mute. So I'm sorry, y'all. Like, this is making me stutter about to tell y'all this part, because from here on, everything just gets so deep. Like, all right. So Rico started kissing on me or whatever the case is. He got music. He put the music on and everything. Chilling. We start, and mind you, I have no shirt on, no bra, or whatever. Right? Hold on, y'all. Oh my God, my heart is pounding right now. I'm sorry, another sidebar. I really see why people need therapy and why it's good to talk, because just getting this out, I think I really suppressed my emotions when it came to all this stuff. Like right now, my feet are tingling. Like my palms are sweaty. Like, yo, people are cruel, bro. But let's finish. Anyway, so I'm laying there or whatever, and he's on top of me like this. Why did I feel a hand? A hand. And the hand was on my, let's just say we can't say on, I don't know if I can say on TikTok, but y'all know, like, it was on my shit, like, and it was twirling my nipple. Like, and I turned my head, and it's the friend that was in the car. Ugly, big, and scary as hell. Touching on my fucking body. So I start, like, I try to put my arm, I'm like, and Rico grabbed my arm and was like, nah, baby, it's alright, he could do that, he could touch on you. And when I say I froze. And now, at the age I am now, I don't like touching my own. I don't. I wash them, but anytime I get touched, it just sends this weird sensation up my body, like a real uncomfortable feeling. And my brain goes immediately back to why I don't like being touched there. And so Rico was saying, like, you know, if you love me, you gonna do it with him too. And I'm like, huh? And he like, you gonna do it with him too? And his friend started like taking out condoms and started putting it on. I'm like, no, I can't. Like, I can't. I started crying and everything. Like, I started crying. And he fake tried to console me, right? And he goes, you know what? All right, fuck it. If you love me, you gonna do this. So I'm like, what we gonna do? Like, at this point now, I'm just scared. I'm nervous. I'm sad. I'm angry. I'm just everything. I'm feeling every emotion. And he was like, you like making money, right? So this is what we gonna do. He throws $150 on the bed and was like, you just gonna give him 10 minutes, and walks out. And yeah, that was the worst 10 minutes that I had to endure. And let me tell you why. He didn't. For that 10, 15 minutes, all he did was eat. All he did was eat. And I was disgusted. I felt so nasty and disgusted because he was tall and big and black and so when he was done, Rico came back in and was like, see, I know you love me. We good. After that, Rico ruined my whole shit. Okay? My whole shit. And that motherfucker. Ooh, I can't say that. Sorry. That mother lover was putting his hands on me. Like, that one was a real situation for me. And I would never want any 14-year-old girl to experience that at all. Okay? So now at this point, school is back, but now it's coming to the end of the school year. So I was doing this with him from the summer all the way to the end of the school year. And it was my 8th grade prom and graduation, and there was a dance before that. So Rico was telling me that, you know, he's throwing a party. And he needs me there. And I'm like, I can't go. Like, it started at 9, 10 o'clock to like 6 in the morning. You do know I am 14, right? I can't go. And he's just like, well, you're going to figure it out, or I'm going to figure something else out for you. Like, he was serious. So I'm like, I can't go. That's when I started catching the attitude. Like, girl, you got to boss up a little bit. Like, I was like, I can't go. That mother lover lifted up his shirt, and he had a pew-pew. All right, I'm going to figure it out. All right, so now I tell my stepmother and my father that they having a party. I want to go. That's what we going to do. Okay? Now, if you live in New York, you know, back in the days, if you was on the dance team, there was a store called Ricky's, and we all was there buying our outfits. Okay? All right? So now we pull up to the building, and it's a building with like a parking lot attached to it. So when I tell y'all it was nothing but dudes and females outside, it was nothing but people outside. All right? Like, this must be something that always happens. Okay? So
We get out the car and we go upstairs. We get upstairs, and when I walk in, it's an apartment, of course, and it's nothing but dudes in there. Nothing but dudes. Right? So Ricky tells me, like, he asked the guy who apartment it was, like, where did she go and change? He pointed to his bedroom. Right? So now, this man was the least 300 pounds. I put that on everything. This man was big and black and bald. Like, I'm telling y'all, no lie. So I go in the room and there's other females in there, but they are older than me. So one of the girls see me and she's like, how old are you? So I'm like, why does that matter? She's like, all right, do your thing, but I don't like it. So I ignore her. Now, I go out the room to go call Rico to give me something. So I told Rico what happened, and he went in the room and cursed that girl the F out. I mean, cursed her out. And as I think about it now, I was like, why would you even snitch, girl? She probably could have helped you, but if she couldn't help herself, she couldn't help me. Okay? So now I'm dressed. I got this tiny ass little dress on with a thong under it. And I come out the room. When I come out the room, all the guys is like going stupid. I mean, going bananas. And I started getting like scared because it's like, it's nothing but men in here. And Rico is just a horrible person. We don't like Rico. So I start dancing, for some of the men that was there, whatever the case. And the dude that owned the apartment was like, oh, I want her. So Rico came to me and he's like, he wants you over there. And I was like, want me for what? And he was like, you want to go in the room with him? And I'm like, no way. I'm not doing it. I'm not. Like, I'm just not. Yo. So, of course, Rico makes that face. And that face, I don't like that face. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go. And I go in the room and it's dark. Like, it is dark. And you could just hear him and you could just smell him. And he's like, come over here, come get on the bed. Don't be scared. So I'm moving slow because I'm scared and I don't want you touching me at all. Like, I don't want you touching me. And I remember he grabbed my arm. And when he grabbed my arm, he just put me on top of him. And I just, like, when I say I was fighting back every tear, right? So you could tell I'm nervous. So he like, hold on, I'll be back. So he get his big ass up and he leave the room. So my heart is like pounding. My heart is pounding now. My heart is pounding. He come back in the room with Rico. So Rico like, what's the problem? So I'm like, nothing. He said he'll be back. He like, oh, he said you acting like you don't want to do nothing. So I'm like, oh boy. So y'all know what Rico do? Rico stands in the room. So now I really don't have a choice. So Rico is standing in the room and this man is just doing whatever, and my body is just on lock mode, and he's just making all these nasty noises and just saying how good I feel. It was just not it for me. So when we was done, I leave out the room and I go in the other room and I'm just sitting there, and the girl looked at me, the one that was like, how old are you? She was like, here, take some baby wipes, go clean yourself up, wipe yourself down, put a smile on your face, you'll be all right. And that's what I did. And then she's like, your phone is ringing. It keeps ringing. Y'all, why did I forget the time? Okay, why did I forget the time? It is now 7 o'clock. Okay, it's 7 o'clock. I call my stepmother and I'm like, the party is over, but I want to help clean up. Can I help clean up? She's like, yeah, go ahead. So that buys me a little bit more time now, right? So now I'm still there. I'm doing whatever. And this night was just so horrible. Like, every time I think about it, I just get chills. I get sweaty. I feel like I gotta use the bathroom. Everything. I just hate everything about that night. And now the time is coming for me to go. Okay, because I'm like, I gotta go. The phone starts ringing again. My stepmother calls. She's like, Dijah, where you at? I'm like, oh, I'm cleaning up. She's like, no, the F you not, because I sent your cousin over there to the school, and they said you never even came to the party. I said, ooh, on God. I hung up the phone, straight like that, boom. I ain't even seen it, I just hung up the phone. So I hang up the phone, I take my freaking, I take the SIM card out the phone, and put the phone in my bag. And now I'm really scared. So now I'm scared of Rico, I'm scared of my father, I'm scared of my stepmother, I'm just scared, okay? So now, it's like, it's like 2:30 in the morning. And now I'm telling Rico, I'm like, I have to go. I cannot stay here. And he's like, all right, well, you made me enough money, so you could go ahead and go. Bro, he puts me in a cab. When I get in the cab lets me out about 3 to 4 blocks from my house. So I called my stepmother's mother, and I told her how scared I was to go home. So my grandmother, she ends up calling my stepmother, and she's like, well, Diane just at the bus stop, and she's scared to come home because she said y'all going to beat her. So my stepmother ends up coming. It's like 10 minutes later, I see her walking down the block. So she's like, give me your phone. So I give her the phone. But again, I took the SIM card out so you can have that. And she's going off. She's going in. Right? Now we finally get home. They cursing me clean out. Y'all know where I can't go? I can't go to my prom. And they said I'll be lucky if I could even go to my graduation. Now here's the crazy part. I don't know what happened to Rico. I don't know what happened. But I remember the day he was supposed to pick me up, he never picked me up. And that was one of the most happiest days because I did not want to deal with that man anymore. I did not want to deal with Rico anymore, and he did not pick me up until a girl called my phone and asked me who I am. So I'm like, who is this? She would say, this is Rico's girlfriend. I found your number in his phone. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I got nothing to do with me. This girl gonna say, he told me to call you and told you that you could still work. He'll be back soon. Just give me the money. So I'm like, what? Where's he at? Rico's in jail, y'all. Rico goes to jail. And I took that opportunity and never spoke to Rico again, ever. Until this day, I'm scared, feeling like he's going to find me or something. Because, girl, I'm scared. All right? So now it comes to the graduation and everything being over. I did not go to my prom. Did not let me go to my prom. Of course not. I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. So now, fast forward. All right? Now, I'm 15. I'm turning 15. I'm in the ninth grade, right? Now, at this time, I meet my father's son. So at this time, I'm out of 304 for a little while. And I meet my son's father through my friend. So now I'm 14, turning 15. I'm in the ninth grade, and I meet my friend, and then eventually my friend has a boyfriend, and then she introduces me to her boyfriend's friend, which eventually becomes my son's father. All right. So now, the relationship was what it was. I wasn't 304 at the time. It was just him and I, a little teenage love relationship. Okay. I was 15. He was 17. So now, as we are in this relationship, don't forget I'm working, y'all. I'm sorry. So now as we're in this relationship, time is going on, and this boy starts talking about how he wants to have a baby. Here we go again, y'all. So now he starts somebody want to have a baby. So what do my little dumb young brain does? I say, okay, let's have a baby. So now I end up getting pregnant at 15 again, right? Now I'm about 3 months. Keep in mind. So now we on the phone one day, we talking, everything's going good. We talking about baby names and all this stuff, okay? So now it comes to the point now. All right, so we're talking about baby names and everything, and it was what it was. Honestly, I can't remember how my stepmother found out I was pregnant, but I do remember she called my father again after she did what? Told everybody I was pregnant. Fast forward, my father decides, you know what? We all gonna go out to lunch, right? Me, him, my stepmother, my little brother, my little sister. We go to this Mexican restaurant in Park Slope, okay? Now, my stepmother, they're talking about me being pregnant and how my life could be over and how it could be ruined and all this and all that hoopla, okay? So he tells me to call my baby daddy at the time. Well, he wasn't my baby. Yeah, he was. Yeah. So he decides for me to call him. And he gets on the phone with him. And you know what he says to the 17-year-old? You got her pregnant, so now you got to move her out before she give birth. You got to take care of her and pay all your bills. Says the man who got us living in the peas off my stepmother's Section 8, telling somebody what they got to do and how they got to do it. Like, stop. Now that he puts that fear into my son's father's heart, his whole mind changes, right? And he's telling me to get an abortion. I'm just like, nah, I'm not doing this again. I'm not having another abortion. I'm just not. And he's with his friend at the time while we're on the phone, and he's telling me to get an abortion. And he just goes, bro, I don't understand what bitches don't understand. I can't take care of no kid right now. That broke my heart. I ain't even gonna lie. That broke my heart. Because it was just like, wow, what? All right, cool. So he kept egging the abortion. And eventually my father and my stepmother are just like, we don't care what you say. You're getting an abortion. All right. So my son's father my son's father's mother schedules the abortion, and she's taking me to get the abortion. Now, I want y'all to remember my son's father's mother. Remember her. We love her. We have no beef for her. So we get in the car and we drive in to the abortion clinic, right? And my son's father is sitting in the front and he's holding my hand. He's saying, I love you and stuff like that. And I just came out. I was just so, at this point of my life, I was really over everybody. So when he said, like, I love you, I was like, you only saying you love me because I'm getting an abortion. Like, stop. I went inside, did the whole process, and come to find out, I was going on 4 months. And when I woke up screaming for my baby. When I say screaming, I woke up screaming. And they drove me home, bought me Burger King, and I went in my room and laid down. My father didn't console me. My stepmother, a woman who bears children, did not console me. It was just like, it is what it is. And that's something I just will never forget, because going on 4 months and getting an abortion, do you know how crazy that is? Anyway, y'all, so now I get the abortion. I'm home. And I'm still, of course, in love with my boyfriend. So I call him like, no matter what it is, I'll fight for our relationship. We're going to be okay. And he's like, yeah, I know. And then and hung up. And I didn't hear from him again. Right? Now, when I was in the school that I was in, this whole, all these years, when I was younger, I didn't go to school a lot, before I went into the foster system. My mother, she didn't put us in school a lot. So I was a grade behind. So at this point, I'm like, you know what? I want to get my life together. Nobody's helping me try to get to my correct grade. Nobody's helping me try to do anything. So I'm like, let me find a school myself. So I find a school. I get myself to that school. And I'm going to better myself and put myself in the right grade. Okay? I get to the school. I meet this boy. What I'm doing? I start messing with the boy. When I start messing with the boy, my ex-boyfriend, ex-baby daddy now, want to come back. My mind is so on gorgeous gangster mode at this point. I don't even care. I'm talking to both of y'all. I'm not getting played no more. I'm talking to both of y'all. And that's what's going to happen. All right? Now, it's really, for real, getting real, y'all. So, I was 17 at this point. I was 17 and I'm trying to remember. I was 17. It was 15 and then I had the abortion and then it was, yes, okay. So I was 17, right? Now, I had my, hold on, goddamn. So we're changing the scenery right now. I need to go to the store. I just need to give me one little shot because this is the first time really getting all this out, and I still have this complex where I'm scared of people and about what they think about what I have to say, and I don't know if my family will end up seeing my TikToks, and it will open something else. But at this point, I feel like it's not fair to me to keep protecting the person that hurt me, and it still hurts me at the age I am, and you're about to find out why. So we're changing the scenery for right now, and we're gonna get back in the house and we're gonna continue. Okay. So I'll be back, y'all. All right, so remember when I told y'all to remember and keep in mind from the dude that I met that put me on the strip in the back of White Castle on Pennsylvania Avenue? Yeah, remember him. Then y'all remember, of course, my father for this whole story. Let's get into it. So now I'm 17, and I'm laying in my bed, and I had my boyfriend at the time saved under daddy. All right, and it's like 3 in the morning, and I get a text from daddy. And daddy says, y'all ready for this? Daddy texts me and says, I would love to take you to the strip clubs that I go to. I love the way that your body looks. Everybody would love you if they see what you could do. If you would dance with me, I would love that. Bro. And then the text says, I hope you don't feel a way about me texting you this. So I sat up, opened my eyes for real, because I'm like, huh? And lo and behold, y'all, it's my actual father, my daddy, that is texting. It was my father that texted me. My own father. Talking about he want to take me to the strip club, want me to dance for him. Bro.
No way. No way. This story is so tragic, man. This story is really tragic, bruh. This was a shame. And her father, I don't know.
Shit is sick. So y'all know what I decided to do? I didn't even answer the message. You know what I did? I got up and I pushed my dresser in front of my door and I sat up in my bed all night until the morning, until I fell back to sleep. Because I was just like, this is not happening. This is not happening again. And now, like, your father is supposed to protect you. Your father is your first love or your first heartbreak. Like, you want your daughter? Nah.
Especially your, I was gonna say, especially your daughter, right? Especially your daughter, right?
So, he don't say nothing, I don't say nothing, right? But my friend that I told y'all about that I met in 9th grade, she had came over, and I showed her the text messages, and I told her what happened. And she was like, you got to get out of here. Like, you can't stay here. And I'm like, you're right. I can't stay here. So y'all know who we call? We call the one that had me on the back of White Castle. And I told him what happened. He
No,
was like,
no, no,
nah,
no,
you can't
no.
stay there, Diva. You want to go? So I'm like, yeah, I want to go. He's like, all right, well, you come, and then I'm going to call some people, and then pack up your stuff, and then I'm going to send you where you going to go. It might be somewhere down south. So I'm like, all right, whatever, just get me out of here. Girl, where was I going? And with who? And this is how much they didn't pay me any attention, because when I say we packed up all my clothes in that room and was moving it out the front door, moving it out the front door. They didn't hear the door open and close him. They didn't get up to check. Nothing. All right. So now when my friend is leaving, I told them like, oh, I'm about to go walk Ife to the train. So now we moving the stuff out. We call the guy. All right, let's just put it out there. We're not doing all this. We called Sun. That was his name, right? We called him and let him know, like, we about to come upstairs. Mind you, Sun was, like, in the back of my building a block away. That's where his place was at. So we brought all the stuff up there. Mind you, when we get there, we was drinking everything, okay? So now, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm at. My friend, she actually leaves. She does go home, okay? And now, I'm there. And obviously, I can't go outside. So now I'm stuck in this house. So all I did was sleep and eat and sleep and eat until it was time for him to let me know where he was shipping me off to. Until it's the day of Thanksgiving. So far, I'm missing for 5 days, okay? So it's early in the morning. Sun went to go get me a bacon, egg, and cheese and a cranberry juice. Sun. And when I say he is frantic, he is frantic. He's shaking me. He's like, Diva, wake up. So I'm like, what? What happened? What? He goes, yo, son, you on the news. Who on the news? He turns on New York 1. Boom. Straight there on the TV. 17-year-old Daisha Perez missing. And what makes it so sad on how much they didn't pay attention to me, I had this red, shiny, bubble Wonder Woman coat. They put I had on a red Coogee coat. They had my whole description on what I had on wrong. Remember I told y'all they didn't even see me leave out of the house. They didn't even know what I had on. So how y'all telling them when I woke my friend to the train and disappeared? So as I see myself on the news, I'm like, shit, I don't want to go back. And he's saying to me like, Diva, this is not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do nothing wrong. I have your back. If anything, you could come back. I'll help you figure this out. And when I say I'm holding my breath. So you know what I do? I suck it up. I get dressed. I put my clothes on. And I go outside. It's Thanksgiving. Let's go. I walk across the street. First of all, people are looking at me like they seen a ghost. They like, you missing. I go to the house. I knock on the door. You hear silence. And then who comes to the door? My stepmother and my father. They open the door. Here goes my father. Baby, where you been? And I'm not gonna lie, that pissed me off. And I was like, I ran away because of you. And you know what they did? My stepmother and my father shoved me into my bedroom. Everybody, all the rest of the family is in the living room. They shoved me into the bedroom. All right, cool. My stepmother asks what's going on. You know what I do? I tell her what's going on. Word for word, verbatim. And you know what she does? She doesn't believe me. You sure he said that? You sure it was him? You sure? What do? I pull my phone out. I give her the phone. Show her the messages. And you know what she asks a 17-year-old child? What do you want me to do? You want me to kick him out? What do you want me to do? And because I was just so like, I care about everybody but myself. And I was just like, oh, I don't want my brother and sister to not have a father if he go to jail. I don't want this. I don't want that. So I guess you could stay with him. You know what she did? She kept him there. And he stayed. So you know why I ended up living back? Back at the house with them. Okay? Lo and behold, guess what? My period never came. And guess what? I was pregnant again. So yes, y'all, I was pregnant again, and this time was different. I had a show at my school, and I was doing a tribute to Aaliyah and Left Eye. You had to fight for that spot, and I fought for that spot, and I was Aaliyah and I was Left Eye, and I bodied it, just so y'all know. But just so happened, I started having a little asthma attack and everything, and after the show, I had got accepted to LaGuardia dance, and when we was leaving, my father asked me this is what you want to do. You want to ruin your life. You can't keep this baby. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. And you know what I did this time, y'all? I looked at him and I said, I'm keeping my baby. And that's that. And I just straight walked off. All right. And it's so many parts to this story, but I'm going to just leave y'all right there with that for now. Every male encounter in my life has just been despicable, disgusting, and horrible, especially being that it came from my own parent. And it's a lot of things that I dream about, that I feel, that I see, that I feel ways about. And yeah, we're going to leave that right there for now because my nerves are rattled. But
All right, man. All right, that's enough. This was a very, 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 very sad story. It looks like she's doing better now. Hopefully, she's doing much better now, and hopefully, you know, she can cope with what happened to her in her past. From this story, it sounds like a lot of motherfuckers need to go to jail, not just Rico. Well, should have went to jail, but you know, her mother gave her up, young age. She never even mentioned her mother again, so I'm not sure what happened to her mom. It's just bad, bro. You know. And it's a shame. These were grown ass men, and I don't like listening to stories like this, y'all. I don't like watching movies like that or like this, you know what I'm saying, when stuff happened to these girls and stuff like that. But, you know, I'm glad she's out of the situation. I'm glad she has a beautiful child now. And, yeah, hold on.
I kept my son. I can say that. And my son is about to be 13 in a few weeks. And it was the best decision that I made. Although I wasn't ready to be a teen parent. I was ready because of everything else I went through in life. And I don't regret keeping my son. But I do regret my father taking me out of foster care, for sure.
All right, y'all. I was talking, but my freaking mic wasn't on. But just to sum up what I said was, dang, I was talking for a long time too. God dang it. I hate to hear stories like this, man. It's a shame. I'm glad she's doing better now. She got a beautiful son now. You know what I'm saying? I know she's gonna be on him and watching him and make sure he has a better life than what she had. I wonder if she still talks to her mom or her dad or whatever the case is. The dad just came out of nowhere with that. That was crazy. Stepmom. It was just like no guidance. You know, from her for her as a child, you know, her parents and everything, they just wasn't right, you know what I'm saying? So it's a shame. Like I told y'all, I don't like to hear stories like this, and I'm glad she's doing better now. You know what I'm saying? It seems like she's doing much better now, and hopefully she can cope with the things that happened in her past. From the story, it sounded like a lot of more niggas needed to go to jail, not just Rico, right? But yeah, like I say, I was talking for a minute, but I realized that I wasn't recording, so I had to get back on here and you know, talk. But I'm glad she's doing better now, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. It'd be hard for me to listen to these type of stories, bro, especially with these girls that, you know, they be young and stuff be happening to them and shit. So I don't like watching movies like that, you know, none of that shit. But, you know, like I say, man, I'm glad she's doing better now. She said son 13, so what's that make her? She was 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Wait, she was 17. Oh, she was 30. Yeah, so she's about 30 years old now. 17 plus 13. She was 17 when she was pregnant. Okay, yeah. So y'all let me know what y'all think about it in the comments below, man. I'm glad she's doing much better. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me, man. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace.